Welcome back, everyone, to episode 8 of the life and suffering of Sir Bronte. Oh, it's been a while since I recorded. A lot of stuff have come up in life, but it feels really good to be back here. So I'm really good to get back into this and keep going. Yeah, I did catch myself up on what happened last time. Last time we ended youth, and now we'll be heading into our adult life. Yeah, I remember we won the tournament. We impressed Octavia Milanitis, I believe her name was. Why I don't know why that name stuck in my head. Maybe it's because I'm so enraptured with her. But yeah, we'll be moving into our adult life now. I'm excited to just get back into this game. I've probably forgotten like all the voices for all the characters, so excuse me for that. Probably gonna be very little consistent. I'm probably gonna have to make up as I go, but we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I think we went through our stats for last time, so no need to do that again. So we'll continue on. We'll probably have a new opening cinematic, and this is also the longest of all of the time period. So we're still just doing 1 year per episode. So let's keep going. 20 years. Yeah, this looks like it's 10 years if I had to guess. If not 15. What the heck? Because this was it's like it's longer than it's like as long as this, maybe a little bit shorter. I say 35. Wow. Peacetime. Yeah, so we're gonna see how are we gonna play a role as the judge back in our hometown as tensions are rising and we eventually lead towards the revolt. Wonder what's gonna spark off the revolt in the end. Is it gonna be religion? The various political factions? What's gonna happen? We'll see. We'll see. Imagine it has to do with that dick Archduke. The Montague, I think I called him. Monroe, whatever. But as the carriage wheels clack a steady rhythm over the cobblestones, you watch the lands of Megra, rendered dry and desolate by ancient magic, sail by the window. You're back in your home province, but you're no longer the boy who left it by this very road 4 years ago. You return a nobleman and a judge. You're continuing the family trade. You have returned to serve at the province's prefecture. Your home, Anazote, is but a few hours away along this dusty road. The carriage is stuffy and hot from the sun, even with the thick blinders shut tight. It's a familiar heat, but you will now get used to it. The heat weighs heavy on you, but it also reminds you of your childhood. You will see your family again soon. To pass the time before you return home, you read your father's most recent letter. Again and again, you carefully reread your father's uneasy words, steeling yourself for the first real job in the service that awaits. Dear Parsons, that's definitely not the voice. Dear Parsons, I anxiously await your return, my son. You are the third judge in our bloodline, the pride of our family. Yet, these are hard times for a judge. By the Emperor's decree, Archduke Tarquinius Milanitis is no longer the overseer of Magra. The new overseer is the Emperor's own brother, Gaius Tempest. And now our province has been split by enmity and strife between the Archduke and the overseer. The nobles have split into two factions, and so have the commoners. Some side with the Archduke, loyal to their liege and determined to follow the traditions of old. Yet many judges and officials are eager to side with Gaius Tempest as the new overseer. Compared to his brother Cornelius, he's less radical and more cautious. But he, too, seeks to transform the empire and bring the estates to peace. Yet, other Arcanians are outraged that Archduke Milanitis has been deposed. One among them is Darius Otton, High Commander of Magra. Although Otton's men are sworn to serve Gaius Tempest and follow his orders, it is no secret that his loyalty remains with the Archduke. I have a feeling he's gonna go traitor. That's no. While Gaius and the Archduke are at odds, there has been no open confrontation. Yet, I feel their patience may one day run dry. As for the judges at the Prefecture, every day we deal with more and more litigation between nobles and commoners. Yet there are no imperial laws that clearly formulate the rights of all three estates. Wisdom, honor, and conscience are every judge's best advisors these days. You made the choice to serve the law, and you have your work cut out for you. You will answer directly to Prefect Augustin Elborn, a long-standing friend of the family. He needs strong allies now more than ever. With the support of people such as you and I, the Prefect intends to alter the fate of our province. I'm looking forward to seeing you back in Anazote, Parsons. So yeah, there's obviously some tension going to rise between the Archduke, the Milanites. Oh, but wait, I kind of want to go. Milanitis is the father of Octavia, who I'm falling for, and yet I kind of want to serve with Gaius Tempest, based on the descriptions of them. Well, we'll have to see where my loyalties lie, I guess. In my brain or in my dick. You put your letter back in your pocket. The walls of Anazote have finally emerged on the horizon. A challenging job at the Prefecture awaits you. But first, you are going home. You're back in your home province, but you're no longer oh boy that you used to be, left on this road 4 long years ago. So Otton is sentenced. You convict Commander Otton in a court of law. Justice 8 or 9. Augustine L. Bourne is not betrayed. Protector of the people or evidence against Otton. Otton faces the court of honor. Oh, what the heck? You force Commander Otton to face the noble court of honor for his misdeeds. Career 8 to 9. Augustine L. Bourne betrayed. Court of honor banned, branded by dishonor, or Jesus, there's so many things going on. Knight of the Serpents. The supporters of Archduke Milanitis take over the city. The family falls apart. Remy L. Vanaman made a deal. Career equals 10. Broken chains. The rebellious citizens take control of Anazote. Justice equals 10. True death. We know what that means. We can be ennobled by the sword. The most important events that may happen to House of Bronte at the end of this chapter. Only one. Okay, the most important event that will end this chapter. Only one will happen. Okay, so either Otton's sentence, face him in the court of honor. There's Knight of the Serpents, or there's broken chains. Okay, we can be ennobled by the sword. The Bronte family becomes a hereditary dynasty of nobles of the sword. Its status passed down from generation to generation. We need to have more than 3 unity, and we need to increase our wealth and reputation, and our family cannot be in ruins or branded by dishonor. We can be favored by the overseer. The Bronte family becomes a hereditary dynasty of the sword, earning the favor of overseer Gaius Tempest and a place at court. Oh, but you need more wealth for that one. Interesting. A glorious bloodline or a family of means. Heir of the family. You succeed your elder brother Stefan as the heir of the Bronte family. Ennobled by the sword, and heir does not equal Stefan Bronte. Wow! The family falls apart. The Bronte family is no more. Unity less than or equal to 2. Events that can happen to the Bronte family in this chapter. The Bronte family becomes known throughout the city for its wealth, so hit max wealth. Mother recovers. Mother finds the strength to recover from a grave illness. Unity is greater than or equal to 8. We are not in that direction. Robert adopts Gloria, and she becomes a full-fledged Bronte. The family of peace. Or the secret plot with Gloria. Well, we probably don't have enough cunning for that, so branded by dishonor. The Bronte family is dragged through the dirt, never to recover. Reputation equals 0. Oh my god. You find a way to unite the Bronte family and end all strife in the home. Stefan Bronte is not killed in a duel. Stefan Bronte does not equal secret plot. Gloria does not equal secret plot. Gloria does not equal betrothed. Oh my god, there's so much going on. The financial wealth. So this is minimum wealth. A glorious bloodline. Get max reputation. Okay. Oh my god. Protector of the people. Praise you, defender of the common people's rights. You are in the favor of someone very powerful indeed. Gain a powerful patron. The Latari ritual. You participate in the enigmatic ritual of the long dead race. Join the Latari circle. The Court of Honor is banned. You ban the Noble Court of Honor throughout Magra. Diplomacy's greatest you 415. Justice greatest ban the Court of Honor. Evidence against Otton. You have the evidence you need to bring the justice required for Otton is sentenced, and the crew requirement for Otton to face the course are reduced by 1. Oh my god. The occupation screen is now available. I see. Oh. Tyranny of the noble. Oh my god. The support of the authorities of the noble. Okay, wow, Jesus. There's a lot of things to take in. These are gonna be a hell of a ride, and I'm so ready for this. There's gonna be some tough decisions. I can feel it coming our way as we make our way through peacetime. Let's get right into it. Little hourglass. Gotta load. Yeah, peacetime. 11:38. 20 years old. The carriage stops. The familiar gate. Your bedroom window. The same one you used to climb out of at night from time to time. The well-tended garden with its important soil. Delighted greenery and mother's beloved violet irises. The porch you used to jump off of when you were little. You are home. You touch the handle of the front door and halt for a moment. It has been 4 years since you left for Eterna, but it feels like yesterday. The air inside is cool, as usual. Father cannot stand the stuffy room and insists on constantly airing the house. You hear hurried footsteps coming from the direction of Father's study. Before you have time to take off your traveling cloak, you're crushed in Stefan's strong embrace. Your brother has grown taller and more broad-shouldered. When he detaches himself from you, you notice how harsh his features have become. He even looks more like grandfather now. Dude, I wonder what would happen if we didn't, ban away Stefan's secret love. Does he not end up looking like a complete asshole? Oh my god. You're going so much. Oh, what was his voice? It was the fucking Kermit voice. How did I do the Kermit voice? I do remember the Kermit voice. You've gone so much over the last 4 years, Pattern. Just look at you. You left a low boy, but you come back, Sir Brante. I'm so glad you joined us in the noble estate. Well, it's not. I don't think that voice is any better. You respond by giving your brother a wrapped gift. Stefan unwraps it carefully. When he sees the sword, a boyish smile appears on his stern face. It's beautiful! What a wonderful gift, brother! Maybe I should start a collection. What do you think? There's no hurry, Stefan. Now let me have a look at the Prefecture's new judge. Father approaches you. His hand extended. You shake it and wrap your arms around him. Father looks older. His back is hunched, and he squints. There are deep lines around his mouth, and silver threads in his dark hair and mustache. Taking a step back, Father examines you from head to toe. What fine posture. You had excellent teachers. I'm proud you made it, son. Mother comes out of the living room, leaning on Nathan's arm. You immediately see signs of the illness you read about in the letters from home. Her back is bent, her hair is gray, a thin web of wrinkles covers her face, and her complexion has lost its color. She can barely stand unassisted. Nathan leads Mother to you. Slowly, very delicately, she embraces you. You press your face into her shoulder, breathing in the nearly forgotten, dearly beloved smell. Mother holds your shoulder and studies your face for a long time. You've been away so long, son. How you've grown. Just a short while ago I was cradling you in my arms. You look so much like your father when he was your age. Sir Parsons Bronte. Nathan approaches you next. Your younger brother is now as tall as you, and his hair almost reaches to his shoulders, but he has the same lost look in his eye he had when he was a boy, and he looks like a bum. Dude, you need to work on that beard there, my bro. Get that 5 o'clock shadow, but he obviously followed the path of the religious path. And here now the wild little brother. He hasn't changed a bit or grown an inch after all this time. He couldn't get into the seminary, so he just hangs around. Wow, oh, he didn't actually make it into the seminary. That kind of makes sense. Nathan lets out a heavy sigh and awkwardly puts his arms around you. I'm glad to see you back, Parsons. Home just hasn't been the same without you. You hear a snort behind you. Everyone turns. On top of the stairs stands Gloria, her arms across her chest. She's dressed as a man, in culottes, a frock coat, and a necktie with a massive pin. The entire family waits for her to greet you. Stefan shakes his hand disapprovingly. Your sister descends as if forcing herself to do it. A few steps away from you, Gloria stops and bows. She looks pretty dang good, I'm gonna just say that. Welcome to your home, Sir Bronte. Your sister looks thinner and leaner than she used to. She has dark circles under her eyes, as though she's been sleeping too little, or crying too much, or both. Enough pleasantries. Come on, the table is set. Lydia's prepared a veritable feast for you. For the first time in years, the entire family is together. You can finally spend some time with another member of your family today. Find out how mother is doing, which gives Lydia +1. Support Gloria, which is Stefan -1, Gloria -1. Ask Nathan some questions, which is Nathan +1, or talk to Stefan. I don't really know. Dude, Nathan's just a bro. I think I'll just ask my mother how she's doing. Yeah, my mother or my brother? Mother, brother. I think I'll just ask Nathan some question. He's a cool dude. I think he needs some help. At the table, you ask Nathan how he is doing. Your inquiries make your little brother uncomfortable. I worked as hard as I could. Studied theology. Read books. But during my examination at the seminary, I started talking about something else entirely. I don't know what came over me. The priest asked me, what is the manifestation of the twin gods' love for people? And I went and said, forgiveness! What are you talking about, son? The twin gods could never forgive anyone for any sin. Otherwise, how could we fulfill their design? Everyone would just do whatever they wanted, since the gods would forgive them anyway. That's an interesting critique of religion. Sorrow fills Nathan's eyes. The priest was furious too. Out of the seminary, you ignoramus! He shouted. So I left. Now I don't know what to do with myself. Just keep silent then. Quit prattling on about the troubles of the common folk. That's your lot for you. Instead, I'd like to hear what Parsons has to tell about his life in the capital. Have you made any useful acquaintances? Or our family might be benefit from some good connections right now. You have to relate the 4 years you spent in Turna. You resume your conversation with Nathan later that night. You sit together on the back porch, away from the rest of the family. I'm glad someone cares about me, brother. You've always been there for me. It must be painful for you to see me grow up to be so useless. Things are bad for me. I try to at least look after Mother. You can ask her questions, but her answers often don't make sense, and she keeps falling silent in the middle of conversation like she did today. Her illness is consuming her. You know, if Mother passes, she may not be reborn. I dread to think what will happen to Father then, and to Gloria. Gloria's had a hard time of it lately, too. Stefan has treated her like dirt for the last year. I think he plans to drive her out of the house so her origins won't taint the Bronte name anymore. Stefan only cares about one thing now, getting our family ennobled by the sword. So for him, glory is just an obstacle between him and his goal. You spend some time in silence, gazing at the radiant stripe of the shining pillar as it grows more and more luminous against the darkening sky. The Bronte family is about to face some challenging times. You're the youngest child in the family and your only full sibling. He's been a secretive, inept, and aloof since your little boy. Still hasn't found a place for himself in society. Your service as a judge begins today. First day of service. You dress early in the morning, donning a brand new jacket with a cravat and hat. It's an immaculate look, if you dare say so yourself. You head to the Prefecture with Father. The Prefecture moved recently. It now occupies the massive new building of white sandstone in the very center of Antizote. A stone statue looms above it, the sword of the younger twin, the divine law that directs worldly judgment. All legal disputes of the province are to be resolved here. You and Father walk up the marble stairs past the commoners, merchants, and lesser nobles, all petitioners and litigants, huddled by the pillars. Well now, my son, here you shall begin your service to the Empire, in the midst of the great struggle I told you about. If you don't mind a little advice, you will serve under Sir Elborn. Follow my example and stay close to your superior. He is a human of great worth, and practically your relative. You walk past the courtroom and end up on the second floor, where judges work in the offices and receive petitioners. The corridors are many and narrow, filled with the smell of old papers and the sound of muffled, mumbling voices and secretaries and gendarmes running to and fro. Father guides you down a corridor that ends with the door to Sir Elborn's office. Parsons, it's time for you to stand before the prefect. Remember the friendship between our families. You knock and enter. The spacious oak-paneled office is not without decoration, yet its adornments are tasteful and elegant rather than garish. The flag of Magra bearing the silver tree hangs on the wall. Behind an imposing desk sits Baron Augustine Elborn, surrounded by papers. His face wears a focused expression you recall from his visits in the past, although it's more wrinkled than you remember. He looks up and his face comes to life. He rises and extends a hand to you. Oh, God, what was his voice? It was very haughty. Why? No, that wasn't his voice. It was very... Why? No, I'll just go for it. Why, young Parsons Bronte, what a pleasure it is to see you again. I see your years at the capital have turned you into a stately young man. I was told you proved yourself quite capable at the college. The city of Antizote needs worthy judges who know their craft now more than ever. Allow me to welcome you into service for the good of the Empire. I'm sure you already know the basics of judicial work. Serving at the Prefecture, however, takes more than finding your way through our laws. Although they are quite labyrinth and contradictory, there's no denying that. Anywhere you look in the province, you will see friction between the estates. Old, noble blood, new nobles, rich commoners, poor commoners, they all have their legal disputes. And we judges work here to make sure this pot never boils over. If we are too eager to follow the traditions of old and bow to noble privilege, the common estate will grow desperate and lose all hope for freedom. But if we openly side with the commoners, the nobles' ire will be quick to find us. And so, Judge Bronte, I ask you to be wary and wise. Peace hangs by a thread in this province. Carefully consider every decision you make at court before rendering your verdict. But first, you'll need to get accustomed to your new position. You shall begin at once. The Prefecture has already assigned you a number of legal proceedings to review and judge. Your office is ready and waiting for you, Sir Bronte. The instructions are over. The work begins. You recognize your new office by the brass plate on the door reading Sir Parsons Bronte, Judge. You find it rather cramped on the inside, yet still reasonably comfortable. A sturdy desk has all the stationery you need. Behind the desk is a large chair of carved wood, and in front of it are several smaller chairs for petitioners. Heavy curtains hang over the window, worthy opponents for the morning light trying to shine through. There are papers on the desk already, including instructions, orders, rulings, and all sorts of other prefecture paperwork. You're about to begin when you hear a sudden knock at the door. The source of the disturbance turns out to be a stout, smartly dressed gentleman. He greets you with an elegant bow you would not have expected from such a sizable individual. "So, Bronte, congratulations on your first day of service. Allow me to introduce myself, Judge Carl Fackelgraben, a humble servant of the law like yourself. It is my hope that we will become fast friends." He looks like a pimp, that's all I'm going to say. Carlo Fackelgraben, you look like a pimp in what is that, dude? And now, if I may, a word of warning to help your future progress smoothly. As a token of your future friendship, I'm aware that Sir Elborn is your immediate superior. As a loyal servant of the Empire, you will of course take his word as your guide. Yet there is no reason to neglect all the other judges of the Prefecture, all of whom are noble men of great worth. Their guidance will most certainly aid you as a judge. It will be my pleasure, Sir Brante, to facilitate your introduction to the noble judges of the Prefecture as soon as possible. I see glory in your future service to the Empire, yet I certainly cannot hurt to receive reassurance and support when you might need it the most. I shall not detain you any longer, but if you wish to make some valuable connections, my office is right across from your own. Another elegant bow from Judge Falkengraben, and the door closes. You are alone at your desk once more. The scorching sun is rising over the province behind the window. Today is an important day. The day when you are about to take your first steps in your new profession. What will you focus on today? Prepare to deal with my first cases, which gives me +5 willpower. Get acquainted with the judge, which is +1 career but -1 justice. Or ask father for advice, which is +1 justice, -1 career, and +1 diplomacy. So we have so we don't want to go down to dangerous position. So career is support of the nobles. Justice, I do want to get to commoners are protected. So I think I will take, and plus it gives me 1 diplomacy. So yeah, I will ask father for advice. For a while, you busy yourself with paperwork and upcoming cases, until you remember that father's office is right next to yours. He used to help you master the intricacies of imperial law at school. Perhaps you could benefit from experience and guidance now. You shift the case folders aside and walk out of your office. Your father is in his office, standing at the window with a deeply pensive look. The subject of his thought is in his hand, a letter bearing the Archduke's seal. He turns around and pats you on the shoulder, then asks you about your meeting with Sir Elborn. A few moments later, you ask him to give you some advice and fill you in on the situation at the Prefecture. My son, you best be wary for now. Sir Elborn will be watching you closely. But this is certainly understandable. The Prefect's views have made his position rather tenuous. Only a handful of judges at the Prefecture have sided with him fully, and I am one of them. Yet even I would not dare draw the ire of those above us and risk our family's welfare. When a noble and a commoner clash in the courtroom these days, the court always sides with the noble, no matter the circumstances. Even if the commoner is wealthy, the court is not on his side. The judges rely upon the rule of law if and only if both parties hail from the common estates. Sir Elborn aims to change this, little by little. He's eager to ensure that imperial law applies to all 3 estates in equal measure. But there are many who oppose him, from Archduke Milonitis and his loyal commander Otton to our fellow judges. Well, I disagree with that, so I'm sorry, my dick, you're gonna not be getting it unless she turns against her own father. Right now, Sir Elborn enjoys the backing of Gaius Tempest, but the Imperial Overseer may abandon him at any moment. So here's my word of advice to you. Be careful. Help Sir Elborn bring the nobles under Imperial law, but do not draw the ire of the other judges. Remember, more than just your career depends upon your verdicts. Even a single careless judgment may be enough to bring our family into disfavor. It was wise of you to ask for my advice before rendering verdicts on your own. I'm sure you'll be able to tackle any issue you might encounter. After all, we have prepared you for this ever since you were a child. Your discussion continues. Father shares his own experience of carefully siding with the common estate whenever possible while properly respecting the privileges of the nobility. Even a partial victory in such a legal dispute comes as a great surprise to any commoner. Soon the vermilion rays of the setting sun fills Father's office. Your workday has come to an end. As you walk through the corridors with Father, you see the other judges watching you closely. There's a knowing look about them. Sir Faucongraben, your new acquaintance, is one of those judges. Hey, Sir Bronte Senior, Sir Bronte Junior, good evening to you. It's a joy to see a son following in his father's footsteps, both in the courtroom and out of the courtroom, I assume. I still believe you do well to take me up on my offer. A grown man need cling to his father's coattails, although the decision's yours, of course. Faucongraben follows this with a courteous farewell and a nod. And Father nods to him reservedly, keeping his emotions perfectly in check. Your first day of the prefecture has ended. A carriage is waiting outside to take you both back home. Yeah, so we are moving a little bit towards justice and a little bit away. We cannot go to 0 on either, but yeah, it's obvious the judges, probably Mr. Faucongraben, is clear in support of the nobles. So, and we got another diplomacy, which is one of the reasons we did it. We're almost influential rather than just promising. Begin service at the Prefecture. You start your service at the Prefecture of Magra. What do we got next? Are we going to get to do a case? Are we going to have something with the family? Or what's up? A reception at the Bronte residence. You come back home after a short stroll through the city. As soon as you set foot in the house, you are greeted by Stefan, who invites you to have a talk in Father's office. When you enter the room, Father has a heap of letters in front of him, and he is signing them one after another. Son, Stefan and I discussed an important matter with you. While you were in the capital, our family formally petitioned the overseer to grant us the nobility of the sword. We have 3 generations of noble blood already. We have the right to make her nobility hereditary. Your grandfather took the first steps towards the nobility of the sword as soon as Stefan was born, and now we are on the brink of becoming the El Brontes. If Overseer Gaius Tempest and the nobles of the province deem us worthy, you receive a hereditary title. All nobles of the Bronte family will remain noble forever, as will their descendants.
Brother and I do our utmost to maintain the family's position, but our goal can be reached only if the reputation remains unblemished in the eyes of high society. The nobility is watching our every step.
Father lays a hand on your shoulder. Now this is your cause too. The future of our family depends on it. We need an estimable reputation and wealth. Everyone bearing the name of Bronte affects it. Remember that with every action you take, Parsons.
You will have to appear before undeserved high society. We're going to host a reception for the nobility at our home soon. You must uphold the honor of our family, brother. You'll relate the news and return it to our guests and present yourself in a favorable light.
With Stefan at the helm, the entire family spends a full week preparing for the majestic reception. The house is flooded with decorations and new tableware. Delicacies are cooking in the kitchen around the clock, and the napkins now bear an embroidered oak branch and chains, the Bronte family crest. Gloria is the only one to neglect the common cause. Were it up to me, I wouldn't be seen at this hypocritical gathering, but I don't want to let Sir Robert down. He's the only reason I plan to stay for the event. The evening of the reception has come. Dignified conversations and the clinking of glasses fill the house. Among your guests are many high-born, powerful people. Your father and Stefan dance from guest to guest, making sure no one is over. Yeah, there is a certain temptation in enshrining your family and nobility and ensuring that your descendants have a freedom to, to pursue life as they rich rather than being chained down. That is definitely a thing I would like to pursue. But the thing is that what is it going to have to come at the expense of? It's going to come at the expense of something. Definitely my relationship with Gloria, but I wonder what else that will entail. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Young Pussons, how splendid to see you. So, what was your time in the capital like?
You exchange pleasantries with a high-placed relative. Meanwhile, Gloria and Mother spend the evening on a settee by the wall without drawing any attention. Neither your father nor your elder brother introduce them to the noble guests. Still, one of the guests, a young nobleman of the sword named Jose El Pelletier, keeps staring at Gloria in fascination. Your sister averts her eyes, bemused.
Oh, Lady Gloria, you are the true gem of this evening. You look so marvelously daring. I haven't seen your like, even in the capital.
When you walk past Gloria, you hear a hurried whisper.
Parsons, please talk to me. This Sir El Pelletier keeps following me. I feel uneasy. What does he want from me? I'm just a lowly commoner. Come with me to the other side of the room. Although I'll probably stand out among all those refined nobles.
Wow. Little rapey vibes.
Look, it's Durante the painter. Wonder what's brought him so far from the capital. It'd be fabulous if you could paint our family portrait. We should be on the canvas together. We're one big happy family after all.
Yeah, one big happy family. Wine glass in hand, you cast a look across the crowded room. It's time to choose how you spend the evening. We do not have enough wealth for that, I imagine. Oh, we need manipulation or elegance. Because wealth -1, reputation, and unity +1. Oh, what is... So, what is... We are house of Bronte. We have a tarnished honor. Currently, we have moderate means, and we have some disagreements. The heir is Stefan Brante. Share the news from the capital, which gives us reputation, diplomacy, manipulation, and Stephen Bronte likes it. Present your mother and sister, unity +1, reputation -1, plus willpower. Or talk about your victory in the tournament. Gives reputation +2, diplomacy +1, elegance +1. And Stefan Bronte, I think that this has to be +2. That's pretty major. Yeah. And it literally has no drawbacks. Like, I'm not getting unity, but, I feel like getting... What? I just gotta... Talk about the... Oh my god. The moment you approach Stefan, he links elbows with you and leads you to the most prestigious place by the table, where the most eminent of the guests are seated.
May I present to you my younger brother, Parsons Bronte. He's just returned from the capital, where he was ennobled by the mantle, Parsons. Why don't you entertain...
Wow, I forgot. Why did I forget his voice?
May I present you to my younger brother, Parsons Bronte. He's just returned from the capital, where he was ennobled by the mantle. Parsons, why don't you entertain our guests with some stories from Eterna?
You make a courtly introduction and describe recent noteworthy events in the capital. The celebration of the heir's coming of age, the attempt by Gaius Tempest to enshrine in law the rights of the nobles of the mantle, Patriarch Luke's sermon. Then you mention the big tournament at the end of your term in the college. Intense battles, the most skilled fighters, an elite audience. The nobles, intrigued, urge you to reveal the winner. You show them the ribbon that was tied around your sword by none other than the daughter of the Archduke, Octavia Milanitis, The crowd murmurs approvingly. With a wry smile, Jose El Pelletier takes a step forward. He was your adversary in the last duel. You exchanged some pleasantries with your former fellow student. El Pelletier returned from the capital a short time before your arrival and his important position at the city hall. The young nobles observe you with envy. The older guests reminisce about the duels of bygone days and predict a brilliant future for you. Stefan is radiant.
I say you have not wasted our time in the capital. We'll ensure that you become famous all over Anosode. You and our family.
Well, Stefan's a big fan of me. And we get the nice +2. We're now a modest position rather than having a tarnished honor. And we gained a diplomacy, so now we're influential. And now we're not tongue-tied. Noise. I say this is all around a win in my book. A rock in a hard place. The Bronte home has been uneasy for several months now. With father traveling all over the province for his judicial duties, the animosity between Stefan and Gloria has grown into a full-blown feud. Your elder brother tries to use his position as an heir to keep his sister in check and make her behave in accordance with her estate. Gloria repudiates his authority. Repudiates? Their fight racks the house on a daily basis. Eventually, after returning from his latest trip, father gathers Stefan, Gloria, Nathan, and you in his office. His somber look portends a difficult conversation. Stefan gazes at his father defiantly. Gloria is poised to lash out and run away. Nathan quietly keeps to the side. Children! For a long time now, our family has been striving to become nobles of the sword. Every noble member of the Bronte family will gain a hereditary title. This is your grandfather's dying wish. Gloria soused lightly. Then why am I here, Sir Robert? She's right.
Oh, she's right. This is a Bronte matter.
Wait until I finish, Stefan. I am still the head of this household. If you're truly so concerned about honor, show your father some respect. It can't be helped. Not all of us are noble, but now we must be united as never before. We must work together to protect the reputation and wealth of this family. But you, Stefan, perpetually humiliate Gloria.
Father, all I'm trying to do is put her in her place. You know perfectly well how the consequences of any attention Gloria might attract. Our every step is being observed. The nobles will make pariahs of our family for all eternity if they remember Gloria's filthy origins and your reckless marriage to Lydia. Father turns red in his face, but with considerable effort he remains composed. That is so. Our grandfather did everything in his power to remedy your mistakes. Please, father, don't repeat them.
Gloria speaks up. I'm just trying to live, Sir Robert, but Stefan wants me to lock me in a cage so nobody will ever lay eyes on me.
That's not all. You're lowborn, but you don't live by your lot. You do whatever takes your fancy. You're constantly grumbling about the order of things. Did you know, father, that she defies all prohibitions by continuing to write poetry?
As far as you're concerned, anyone who contradicts you is an insurgent.
When will you grasp the idea that you may not argue with a nobleman? I am the heir of the family, and this word is my law.
Purple with rage, father slams his fist on the table. It's so rare to see him so furious. Both your elder brother and sister instantly fall silent. Frightened, Nathan shrinks into a corner. Hold your tongues, both of you. Let Parson speak. He is witness to your quarrels. He should know best which of you is in the right. We can side with Stefan. We can defend Gloria. So we can send Gloria to Valona, or we could appeal to Nathan. But we don't have theology greater than or equal to 7. Dang it. That's dang. So we got to make a choice. You persuade Gloria to go on a trip somewhere far away from Stefan. This will help them bury the hatchet. That gives them wealth -1. This gives us reputation -1, and that gives us unity -1. So there's no good decision here. This was obviously the best decision, but we can't make it. Manipulation, eloquence. But gives us a wealth -1, which would put us back. Put us back and put us into poverty. No. But just gain 2. Like. But side with Stefan. Gloria must stop bringing shame to your family by defying her lot. Stefan should give Gloria some respect. She is a member of this family too. Or you persuade Gloria to go on a trip. Fuck. I really wish we could appeal to Nathan. God dang it. And I don't think, ethically, I don't know if I can just. It's one of these two. I feel like this does give me a manipulation and an eloquence, though, which helps. So I think I'm going to do it. Fuck, this sucks. Send Gloria to Valona. You take a conciliatory tone. You note that the tempers are running too high. Your siblings would benefit from spending some time apart. They need to cool off, then try to settle their differences. From what you hear, the town of Valona in the southern part of the province has an excellent resort with healing springs. What if Gloria took a vacation there for a month to improve her health and have some rest by the sea? Gloria shakes her head hesitantly. Are you trying to get rid of me, Parsons? So I won't be in your way? What am I supposed to do at some twins' forgotten spa? You patiently explain to Gloria that you'll be able to enjoy some time reading, find inspiration in contemplating the waves, and ponder on the future. And then when she comes back, she and Stefan will calmly discuss their issues. Finally, Gloria gives in. A trip to Valona will be costly. I'd like to know who will pay for it. Speaking first and foremost to your father, you argued that peace in the family is worth any expense. The two of you should indeed spend some time away from each other. Let it be as you suggested, Parsons. Gloria, start packing. Stefan, please send a note to Valona and hire a carriage for your sister. Gloria reluctantly heads off to the coast. This trip forces the family to spend a hefty sum, but without the constant bickering of your brother and sister, the tension at home quickly dissolves. With no need to keep an eye on Gloria, Stefan devotes himself to Anna's social life. Gloria returns surprisingly serene. After a month in Valona, her temper has mellowed for a time. She is engrossed in her own affairs and does not draw her brother's ire. So we're a little bit poor, but we gain some. We gain some stats. We kept the family's reputation and our family's unity. It is the morning of a very sultry day, and you get back to the office. You're beginning to get used to your duties of your new profession. Father visits you on the job now and then to see your progress and provide advice. But by now he's confident you can handle the work all on your own. Today is your first case assigned by the prefect itself, a land dispute. From the comfort of your chair, you go through the facts and circumstances of the case. The matter seems simple at first. Seeking some desperately needed financial gain, a noble from the less than wealthy Elavia family rented out a sizable portion of his estate to a well-off commoner by the name of Basil Young. All of the rent payments are in order, and there's plenty of time left before the lease is set to expire. But the commoner built a large dye works on the estate, and then Avia silently filed a case with the prefecture to evict him. Oh, it's a case of a well-off commoner versus a not-so-good noble, I see. The rental agreement specifically states that the commoner Young has the right to construct any building on the land. The noble landowner, however, thinks he has his final say in any construction since the land belongs to him. Basil Young, on the other hand, has refused to vacate the rented land since the term of the agreement has not yet expired. Both parties are to appear at the prefecture to hear your decision. The litigant, Sir Olivier, enters first. He is an aging noble who dressed far too colorfully for his years. He walks into your office with confidence and sits in front of you. The next man to enter is Basil Young, a heavy-set man with a thick beard, clothed in an old jacket and clutching a hat. He stands by your desk and bows to you. Sir Olivier does not hesitate to speak first. Your Honor, I demand you drive the commoner Young from my land. His dye works is a noisy, nasty, ugly building, and I refuse to have it on my property. My family already has to endure their warehouses and their filthy workers right by our own estate. But this is simply beyond the pale. Either the court says the dye works must be demolished, or I, Gustave Elavia, will do it myself. You ask Elavia to compose himself and tell the commoner to give his statement. Basil Young gives his account, speaking in a deep, gruff bass. Your Honor, it cost me all my money to build the dye works. The contract says it clear. I got the right to build anything on the land during my rental period. And Sir V.A. didn't say a word at first. But now he up and demands we demolish it. My family will be ruined. That's not gonna happen, I say. Sir LVA screams at him in return, outraged by what he calls cunning trickery. The bearded Basil Young disagrees and again, his pudgy finger pointing at the clause in the agreement. It is noon already. The sun is so hot, even the air itself seems to melt away. This is your first cave ever. It's time to deliver your verdict. So we protect Young's rights, which gives the Alto Magra +1, Order -1, Career -1, and Justice +1. Well, so is this just the opposite? Yes, these two are exact opposites. And then we have terminate the rental agreement. That gives us Career +1, Justice -1, Order +1, and the Wealth of Magra -1. It gives a reputation. We propose a law that would grant noble owners the right to terminate their rental agreements in court at any time. Dang, dude. So let me see. What's with the Wealth of Magra, the provenance? The Wealth of Magra, we're currently in affluence. Flourishing land. Peace, we could go down to discontent, and then so it's these that are mostly getting affected. Okay. Order -1, career -1. Oh, but career -1. It's probably not good because we're at 3. That would put us. Probably want to try to keep in the middle for both. Comply with LVA's demand. You terminate the rental agreement. Order +1. What happens if order gets massaged? Triumph of the law. Or terminate the rental agreement. Which is this career plus. So basically, what's the difference between this one and this one? It's just I get +1 reputation for 5 willpower. Oh my god. Like, it's hard because in a real situation I would probably strive to protect Young's right, but I really need to balance my career and justice here because I've already favored. So, and 1 reputation for 5 willpower is pretty good deal, I'd say. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to terminate the rental agreement. No matter what the agreement says, no commoner has the right to construct a production facility on a noble's lands without the noble's permissions. Presently, however, you cannot reasonably terminate such a contract between a commoner and a noble, which means the prefecture needs to pass a law to this effect. You postpone the verdict and tell Sorella VA and Basil Young to leave for now. The prefecture does more than judge cases and resolve litigation. It also generates regulations that have the force of law within the province, and even the youngest judge in the employ of the prefecture may suggest a new regulation. When it comes to land agreements, it is clear that the province needs to guarantee that any noble has the right to terminate any agreement that impinges upon the ownership of their own land. And so you meticulously compose a proposal for a new provincial law. Ownership of the land, you write, is a foundation of noble authority, for along with a noble title, it is one of the boons granted to those ennobled by the sword. A noble is the sovereign of of his land, and so he must have the right to recover that land, if need be. Jesus, I hate myself already. The other judges eagerly support your draft. Given the many litigations of the kind between nobles and commoners they face each year, it will present them with a quick and effortless solution. Eventually, even the Emperor's overseer in Megara, Gaius Tempest, sanctions this regulation, with the name Bronte mentioned therein. Your standing with Anazote high society improved. Once a new regulation is in force, you reopen Elvier's case. Now armed with a legal justification, you terminate his rental agreement with Basil Young and restore the noble's ownership of the land. The dye works are to be demolished. What are you saying, Your Honor? I put all I had into this. My family, they'll starve. Your decision is now backed by a provincial regulation, you remind him, and even stubborn Basil Young has no choice but to accept it. The hapless dyer is a sorry sight, his broad shoulders hunched and drooping. The man has nothing more to say. He is ruined, and he knows it. You have my thanks, Sir Bronte. This certainly took longer than I expected, but the land rights of all nobles in Megara are now well protected against scheming, low-born tenants who have grown rich beyond measure. Rest assured, the other nobles of the sword will hear of your integrity. Many newspapers appeared in Anazote of late, but today every single one of them writes about your law. Many periodicals praise the young judge for the Bronte family as the protector of tireless noble rights. Other newspapers, however, condemn the regulation openly. They claim that it renders pointless any and all rental agreement in the province. The common estate now has no secure foundation on which to ensure the security of their trade and production facilities, since all land suitable for construction belongs to the noble estate. Yep, not a big fan of this decision, but I gotta look out for myself, my dude. And then we bring everything back into balance, 4 and 4, and that gives us +1 reputation. Close to being renowned among nobles. Minus a little willpower. And that puts us at the end of our first year. Oh boy. I am not looking forward to having to make decisions between the nobles and commoners. Oh, because I'm gonna definitely have to make more decisions now that I feel is definitely morally wrong, but is what I need to do to get myself ahead and to keep everything in check. Dang. That's shitty. Oh my god. When you start having to accept how absurd the world is. Oh my god, it's... it makes it all the more meaningful when you can find someone to make a connection with that can help allay the absurdity of this world. Well, I'm very excited to keep recording this. I look forward to it, and I hope you guys look forward to the next episode. Tell me, what do you think about the decision to, basically screw over Mr. Young? Could you have gone out on the limb and saved him, protected his rights, even at the cost to yourself and your situation? What would you have done? Let me know. Until next time, though, see ya.